was being punished for being quiet. I was holding myself back. I had programmed myself into silence. I am the life of the party. People at work rearranged their lunch breaks just so they could hang out with me. I became the person everyone wanted to sit next to. Hey there, magical beings. Welcome to another episode of Magic Manifesting with Mia. It is I, your favorite spiritual manifestation coach, Mia. Using my unique approach towards spirituality and manifestation, I manifested my ex-pack in 2 days, and you can find the free guide of it in the description below. Travel, money, celebrities, changes to our physical appearance, weight loss, and so much more. And I am talking about every single one of them in a video form like this one. So make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon so you won't miss any of those gems. But I am also offering one-on-one coaching, personalized affirmations, personalized subliminals, personalized meditations, personalized vision boards, and even personalized spell work and tarot readings. Everything will be linked down below. But let us get into today's video. So I know this might sound up like a straight up lie when I tell you that I used to be a social recluse. Like the shy kid. The kid no one would pick to play with. The one who wouldn't talk to anyone. The one who was always left out. Always on the sidelines. And I know that probably sounds crazy right now, especially when my literal job is to sit down in front of a camera yapping to strangers on the internet. Yeah, but hear me when I say that it is true. I was the quiet, awkward girl that no one ever seemed to find interesting. The one people would forget about in group projects. The one who'd laugh very quietly at jokes and then overthink 3 hours later about whether she sounded weird. And now, I am the life of the party. I talk a mile a minute, I voice my opinions, I take up space. So what changed? Let's take a little trip down memory lane together. Because the shift didn't just happen overnight. It started with the way I was raised, the beliefs I picked up, the way I internalized the word nuisance and let it shape my identity. Growing up, I was raised into a household where the golden rule was be humble, don't make noise, don't cause trouble, sit there, be pretty, smile politely, and do not disturb anyone. And, you know, even though that sounds harmless, right? What it subconsciously taught me was, you are a nuisance if you stand out. If you make a fuss, if you speak too loudly, if you're too much. That right there was the seed to my perfectionism. That was the reason why, even though I knew the answer in class, I kept quiet, because if I got it wrong, I'd bother the teacher. I'd take up space. I would embarrass myself. That was the reason why I waited silently to be picked up for games in the playground. Not because I didn't want to play, but because I didn't want to impose. I didn't want to be the girl who asked to join. I didn't want to be a burden. Even when I broke my finger in taekwondo practice, and yes, I really did. Look at this. Can you see that? I had to do a whole surgery on this fucking finger. Look at this. Story for another day. But even though I broke my finger, I kept going. I trained for another 30 minutes. 30 minutes. With a broken finger. Because screaming or crying or saying, I need help, would have made me a nuisance. Yeah, I toned myself down in every room I walked into. I softened my voice. I nodded along to things that I disagreed with. I played the easygoing, agreeable, don't mind me girl, because I thought that's what being liked looked like. But it destroyed my confidence. It destroyed it. Because if you never give yourself permission to be, how will you ever know who you actually are? When you spend years being too quiet, something strange happens. Even your growth seems shameful. Like when I tried wearing a bolder outfit or playing with fun makeup. If people looked at me, even just for a second, my brain screamed, "I'm judging you. You're doing too much. You're showing off." Even now, I won't lie, sometimes that voice still pops up. Okay? Sometimes it still will. But it's not as loud as anymore. Now, I'll wear something extra because I want to. But then, like I said, sometimes that old programming creeps in and just whispers this time. Whispers, "You're taking too much space." But then I'm just like, that voice is old conditioning. That's the "don't be a nuisance" script. Still trying to run the show. But here's what I realized. That voice isn't me. It is not. It is a belief I inherited. And just because it's there, that doesn't mean it's true. So, what was my breaking point? Because let us be honest, there is always a trigger that forces change. Always. And mine was my first job. First ever job, making hot dogs at IKEA. Yeah, you heard me right, I was making hot dogs at IKEA. I was 18, I was still in that stay out of people's way mindset. I didn't connect with my coworkers, I was awkward, and they didn't bother to getting to know me either because with how I was projected, I didn't let them connect to me. The environment was miserable. People were quitting constantly, and the ones who stayed made everyone's life hell. And then came the day, a bank holiday, which in the UK means chaos, absolute chaos. The store was flooded, and I was left alone for hours, cooking, cleaning, serving, prepping, everything all alone. Because like I said, environment miserable. They were so shit. I'm making up the schedules. So I was left all alone. And in the middle of that storm, I was trying to get fries out of the deep fryer. And that metal basket slammed into my elbow. Still dripping with boiling oil. I got a serious burn. And guess what? No one came to help me. I couldn't even treat my burn because no one else was gonna be there for another 45 minutes when I would finish my shift. And when I told my manager about it, she told me I was overreacting. And that moment lit a fire in me. Not just from the burn. But because I realized something. I was being punished for being quiet. For not asking for help, for staying out of the way. And I said, never again. So, when I got my next job, I made a promise to myself. I am not going to be invisible anymore. I said, fuck it, the ultimate fuck it. I've done a video on it. You can check it out later. Anyway, I said fuck it. I would speak up if I needed to speak up. I would make conversation. I would be friendly. Not because I was trying to be liked, but because I wanted to connect. And if they didn't like me, fuck them! So what happened? Everyone loved me. Well, except one manager. But don't worry, I got my passive-aggressive revenge on her on the day that I left. So it's fine. It's fine. People at work rearranged their lunch breaks just so they could hang out with me. I had a work dad, you know how people have work wives, work husbands. I had a work dad. People asked about my weekend plans. I became the person everyone wanted to sit next to because I had stopped dimming my light. I had stopped hiding in the corner, waiting to be picked. I got the nickname of Chatterbox, and that changed everything. The truth is that I hated being left out. I hated watching everyone else laugh and connect while I sat there thinking, maybe I'm just boring. But the gag is, I wasn't boring. I was holding myself back. I had programmed myself into silence because I thought that was the way to be loved. But real love doesn't come from pretending to be agreeable. It comes from being yourself. Loud, quirky, bold, opinionated, weird, whatever you are. That job changed the way I saw myself. I realized I didn't have to shapeshift into some watered down version of myself just to be tolerated. I could be me, fully and unapologetically, and people would still love me. And that realization fueled my fire. Now, I yap all day, every day. See that? I speak my truth, I stand my ground, and I've seen proof that I can be the center of attention without being a burden, without being too much, without being a nuisance. Now, here is your mindset shift. Instead of shrinking yourself and waiting for the world to make room for you, you decide that the room adjusts to you. That's manifestation. That is the fucking energy that changed everything for me. I've said it before on that video. The fuck it changed everything. Go into every interaction like this. Fuck it. If they like me, amazing. If they don't, still amazing. I'm not here to impress anyone. I'm here to be me. I promise you, when you believe that you are worth knowing, people will mirror that. People will pick up on your ease. Your energy will shift from, please like me, to, I already know I'm likable. You just need to discover it. That's how you manifest new friendships. That's how you manifest being seen differently. That's how you manifest a new self-concept. By acting in alignment with it before the world claps for you. And hey, if you need proof that it works, just look at me. Okay? I went from background character to main character energy just by deciding that I wasn't going to live in the shadows anymore. Now, let's talk about you. Shall we? Yeah, I'm looking at you. I'm looking. Yeah, I cut my finger. Let's not comment on that. So this finger, you. Because I want this to be more than just another motivational video rant that fades by the end of the day. Okay? I want this to be the start of your mindset shift. And not just when it comes to friendship interactions or social interactions. I want to be in everything. So, here's what we're doing. I'm starting a new segment here on this channel called Small Success Stories. And this is where you come in. Every time you apply what I teach, even in the tiniest way, I want you to comment and tell me about it. Did you speak up when you normally wouldn't? Did you wear that bold outfit? Did you say, screw it, and start a conversation at work? Tell me. You don't need to wait until your whole personality changes to celebrate yourself. Your small wins are evidence that you are becoming a new version of you, and you are going to celebrate them out loud. I'll be picking comments to feature in future videos because I want this to be our space, not just mine. Okay? This community is about real transformation. We're not pretending here, we are becoming together. Now, I want you to say this with me, breathe them in, feel them in your body, because these are your new truths. I am not a burden. I am a blessing. My voice matters. My presence is powerful. I don't need to shrink to be loved. I attract aligned connections perfectly. I attract aligned connections effortlessly. I am safe to be seen, heard, and celebrated. I do not chase approval. I embody self-worth. I walk into every room with confidence and authenticity. I am magnetic to people who truly see me. My energy is enough. I am enough. I am no longer hiding who I am. Say this every day if you need to, especially when your brain starts replaying old programming, because these thoughts, not facts. You get to choose the new ones. If this resonated, it's because your higher self is tired of being quiet. And baby, she's loud, she's bold, she doesn't apologize for existing. Or he, or they. Whatever. So go out there and try the fucking energy. Be bold, be awkward, be real. And then come back here and tell me about it. Comment your small success. Tell me how you showed up differently. I want to hear it all. We are not hiding anymore. You are not a background character. You are the main event. So show up like it. Say it with me one last time. I am done being quiet. I am done being small. I am safe to be seen.